Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to get into something a little bit controversial. Have you ever heard of Myanmar? No? I don't blame you, but there's some serious conflict that's going on over there right now, and I just think it needs more attention because half the people I talk to have no idea even where Myanmar is. So I'm going to talk about how there's a real coup that has occurred, unlike the American coup that happened on the 6th, where the military has actually taken control of the government through the whole country. So basically they've overthrown the democratically elected government, and in place of it, the military is ruling as dictators, essentially. But anyways, let's get into this. If you haven't been to my channel before, I just talk about whatever I feel like. So this is what I feel like talking about today. So if you like what I talk about, give me a like, share it with your friends. I think this kind of stuff's important, and if you think it's important, you should share it. All right, but let's get into this. All right, so Myanmar is a little country south of China, just east of India. All right, right here. It's also called Burma. You may have heard of Burma instead of Myanmar, but essentially, I'm just going to read this. On February 1st, 2021, the military in Myanmar, led by Commander-in-Chief Min Aung Hlaing, I'm going to butcher all of these names, and I'm sorry, but it's the way it's going to be. Min Aung Hlaing staged a coup and successfully overthrew the democratically elected government. As a country that was under harsh military dictatorship for 5 decades from 1962 to 2011, the brutality and numerous crimes committed by the military, including genocides and war crimes, are apparent in its history. The infamous coup leader, Min Aung Hlaing, is well known for a multitude of crimes from systematic discrimination and human rights violations against minority groups to ethnic cleansing against Rohingya people, for which he has received international condemnation and sanctions. That's ethnic cleansing. That is genocide. After the coup and the detainment of several officials that were democratically elected by civilians, citizens of Myanmar began peaceful protests throughout the country and participated in civil disobedience movements. However, the armed forces have ruthlessly treated peaceful protesters and civil disobedience movement participants with live munitions, arsons, abductions, and unthinkable torture methods that eventually led to people dying, like a lot of people dying. As depressing as it is, yeah, I don't need to read that. Like, a pregnant woman was shot point blank in the head for helping peaceful protesters hide. A medical student was trying to save injured people on the city street, and I'm not going to show any of this because it's all documented. You can go right to r/Myanmar, and you can follow this, and there's places you can support the people there. But at the time of this writing, over 200 people have been killed and thousands illegally detained. And this was written 28 days ago. Okay? 28 days ago. So who knows how many people have been killed now. Here, I'm not gonna read all this, but I'll show it so you can see how you can help and be a part of it. But I just want to give you a sense of the scale of protests that are going on. So look at this. Just look at all these people. And all they want is their democracy that was just stolen from them, essentially, by the military. Like, hey, Antifa, this is what anti-fascism is. But yeah, you can head over to r/Myanmar to see exactly what's going on in their words instead of mine, because I'm obviously some American kid sitting in his room talking about Asia. But this is where things get a little interesting. So, I haven't fully fleshed out who's all involved, but you can see this article from Nikkei Asia. Myanmar junta, which is the military force in Myanmar, taps Russian air power to bomb ethnic rebels. Ethnic rebels. That's what they're calling these people who voted for democracy. Like, what? Anyways, let's read some of this. The skies above the hinterlands have thundered from Russian-made jets over the past 3 weeks as they bomb strongholds of ethnic rebels along countries' borders with China and Thailand. On other nights, witnesses say Russian-made attack helicopters shattered the silence and lit up the sky. Now, we don't know if it's actually Russia or if it's just Russian jets used by the junta or used by China, or there are many factors in this, and I'm not going to claim like I know all of them, but I just want to bring this to your attention. Okay. The Myanmar's military's use of such heavy firepower in rural areas controlled by various armed ethnic groups is meant to send a clear message to all that live there. The junta is in control, and any resistance to the coup of February 1st will be met with extreme force. They want to demonstrate that they can do anything and can bomb anywhere in the Karen people live. The Karen people are not angry white females who are yelling at you for no reason. The Karens are the Karen National Liberation Army, which is the oldest of Myanmar's 20 ethnic armed groups. So they're not, anyways. They're being bombed over this when they are owed their democratically elected officials. They took them all hostage. The military took all of the officials hostage. Like, what? Can you believe that? That would be like if the United States Army went to the Capitol when Congress was in session and captured all of our senators, our president, all of his cabinet, all of our House members, and held them hostage to do their bidding. Could you imagine that? That would be insane. But and there's got to be something to it. There's got to be something else to it. China. Look at all of the money that's been poured into the military of Myanmar by these other countries. Look at this. China, Russia, India, freaking $1,400 million. That's $1.4 billion that China has given to this small country here for their military. And they're currently at war with whom? Themselves? Awfully strange. Seems as though China's propping up this conflict, because it's not exactly good for China to have a conflict on their border, but it's not exactly bad. So if they can keep the tensions exactly where they need them, they can profit off of it. Okay, let's look at, this is the United States Institute of Peace. This is a publication put together with 13 experts, met from February to June 2018 to assess China's involvement in Myanmar's internal conflicts. You can find this. I'll put all the links in the description for all the sources I use, so you guys can go and look at them yourself. But I just wanted to read this little paragraph here. But China has also come to the defense of the Myanmar government over the crisis in the Rakhine state to the west, where the Tatmadaw has carried out the brutal campaign of ethnic cleansing, if not genocide, against the mostly Muslim Rohingya population. The Tatmadaw being on the side of the junta, and the Rohingya on the side of the citizens of Myanmar. China has protected Myanmar from sanctions at the United Nations and has offered rhetorical and material support for its handling of the so-called terrorist attacks. Furthermore, China has extensive economic interests in Rakhine, including a major port in Kyaikphu and a planned special economic zone. A planned special economic zone and a road, rail, and pipeline network to move energy and other materials and supplies from the Bay of Bengal through Myanmar to Yunnan province. For its part, the United States has long supported Myanmar's reform process, but it has led a limited role in the peace process. Why? If we're the police, if we're the world police, if we're going to be the protectors of democracy in the world, why aren't we here talking about this? Have you seen this on Fox News? Have you seen this on CNN? Have you seen this on MSNBC, ABC, NBC, any of them? Why is this not on the news? This is what we should be talking about. But no, we're in our own country fighting over race, gender, and this, that, and the other thing. But meanwhile, China's taken huge steps to further its agenda, and I it's crazy to me. This in part, by no means entirely due to China's explicit opposition to the United States engagement, particularly in areas along the Chinese border, and general concern about U.S. influence in Myanmar. Myanmar will serve as the ultimate arbiter of any U.S. involvement in its affairs. Nonetheless, assessing China's role in and perspectives towards assessing China's role in the perspectives towards Myanmar's internal conflicts may offer important insights into overall conflict dynamics inside the country and help inform potential U.S. peace support policies going forward. We should be doing more, like more. These people are being killed. It's just depressing. But I understand we have our own problems, but if we're going to be funding Sudan's border wall and Pakistani gender studies with our COVID bills, I think we could send Myanmar, some change, Then we get to this. Chinese-made drones reportedly monitor anti-regime protests in Myanmar. So this is again, I don't know if this is propaganda because I've never heard of the Irrawaddy paper, so I don't fully trust this source, but let's just entertain the thought for now. Russia has provided hardware, digital surveillance systems, and new model jet fighters to the Myanmar military. But what about China? According to Jane's International Defense Review, Myanmar's Air Force appears to be using Chinese-made unmanned aerial vehicles to monitor anti-regime protesters in the streets. China is funding multiple genocides across the world. Okay, that's mainly the point of this video, is I just want to get that across, that ultimately it comes back to the Communist Party of China. And this single video could get me banned just for talking about it, being that Google owns YouTube and YouTube is and Google is controlled by China. So that brings us to the most recent news on Sky News, and I'm going to play a little bit of this video. Hopefully I don't get copyright striked, but batches of 50 to 100 Uyghur workers are being advertised on the Chinese internet. Now, if you haven't heard about what's going on in China, in Xinjiang, there are the ethnic, natives, I suppose, to Xinjiang are called Uyghurs, and they have been put into concentration camps and forced labor camps and downright executed. And it's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying. And if the United States doesn't step it up, China is going to surpass us in being the world leader, and we will be subject to their rules, their laws. But anyways, Okay, I totally butchered the audio for my video, so here's my edit. Now I can play the video without it double playing.
Uyghur workers featured on Chinese state media celebrating the Islamic festival of Eid al-Adha. They are not in Xinjiang, their home, but thousands of miles away in Shandong, East China. Rights groups allege that sending Uyghurs to factories around the country is indicative of forced labor, that they are subject to strict controls as part of a policy of assimilation. China rejects those claims.
Of course they do.
Chinese has uncovered evidence of the tight social and political controls applied to Uyghur workers. On the Chinese internet, there are hundreds of postings offering Uyghur labor in batches of 50 to 100 people. This one says that the security of workers will be guaranteed by the government.
That is insane.
The company hosting the adverts did not respond to
I'll just read this.
We phoned some of the numbers listed.
I have around 2,000 Uyghurs left, a few from Kazakhstan. I need to report to the Xinjiang government. The government needs to examine them politically. All workers are accompanied by supervisors when they go back to the factories, and they are under half military style surveillance.
Agent told us.
What? You know, the ethnic minority issue is a severe problem. So it needs an official letter, and we need to coordinate it with the local government.
When they get that government approval, the workers end up in factories like the one in the video.
And now he's gonna go and actually, like,
When we arrived at the seafood
try to find them.
factory, it was a very different scene. There are no Uyghurs here, the factory owner told us. They have all returned home because of the pandemic. He described the idea of forced labor as nonsense, saying workers came here because they chose to, earned at least £300 per month, and had air conditioners in their on-site dormitories.
And then called the police.
Under close supervision. The CCTV cameras in the office monitor those dormitories. Riot control gear is also at hand. And if workers wish to leave the factory to go shopping, the owner told us, the company would drive them in 2 buses. In the meantime, he had called the police. 12 officers and Communist Party officials questioned us for 2 hours before ordering us to leave town.
Strange.
We're not welcome at another seafood factory in the same province. For years, it has run a UK subsidiary, registered in London. This manager was waiting at the door. He told us bluntly there were no Uyghur workers here, nor had there been in the several
Nothing to
years
see
he had been
here.
employed at the factory. That's contradicted by photos posted in March last year on the company's website, which have since been deleted. It shows Uyghur workers arriving from Xinjiang. The company announcement says that their arrival will help poverty alleviation and the integration
Oh, yay,
of
the
national
Uyghurs
family.
here.
This is a coastal export city some 2,000 miles
We've taken
away
them from their homes. Alright, you get the point. Do you see how much of a problem this is? It's insane. Well, back to the... Alright, I don't wanna get copyright striked, but do you see what's going on here? Have you heard about this? Let me know in the comments. Have you heard about this? Let's look at one more thing. Let's look at the CNN article. 13-ton shipment of human hair, likely from Chinese prisoners, seized. This was back in July of 2020. How long has this been going on? Did you ever hear about this? China has faced international scrutiny for its treatment of the Uyghurs, and in June, President Trump signed a bill into law that aimed to punish Beijing for its repression of the ethnic minority. I don't know, man. It's terrifying. 13 tons. 13 tons. Let's do a thought exercise. How much does my hair weigh? Let's see. Let's just get a quick average. Hair weighs between 2 to 5 ounces. Okay, so we'll say 2 to 5 ounces. And 13 tons, that's 2,000 pounds per ton, times 13 is 26,000 pounds. Multiplied by 16 to get it into ounces, so 26,000 times 16 is 416,000 ounces, and divided by, what was it, 2 to 5, we'll say 3 ounces. So that divided by 3, ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, tens, that's enough hair, if my math checks out, which it probably doesn't, for 138,670 people. And that's on the middle of the road, 3 ounces. What do you think? Let me know. I think this is something that we need to talk about, and nobody is. Thanks for tuning in. Share my video if you think it's useful or informative. I know it's probably not the same format that some people thought I'd be making, but this is what it is. But thanks for checking it out, and I hope you check out the next one. Again, you can find me at Justin279 on Twitch. You can find me on Twitter. I actually even have made some merch, which you can find me over on streamlabs.com/Justin279. I'll show you some of it. See what you think. I gotta plug myself after all, you know. Check this out. Made a cool little logo if you like it. I haven't ordered any of these, so if you do order one, let me know how the quality is, and if it sucks, I might even reimburse you for buying it. But we got jackets, hats. Hat kind of looks funny, but anyways, let me know what you think. Share, like, and I hope you tune in next time. See you.